now to introduce my amazing co-counsel, Julia Olsen.
Courtroom 1 of our federal courthouse is sitting empty right now. Instead of being full of life with the lights on and justice being heard, it's dark. There's much in our nation's history that has been dark. We've been a nation that has stolen land from people who were here long before the first immigrants arrived. We have been a nation that has stolen human life and enslaved people. We have imprisoned our own innocent people unjustly. We can still see that darkness today and over the weekend from the horrific violence that occurred in Pittsburgh in the synagogue that took life. There are lingering threads of hate and fear and discrimination and segregation in our nation. But we're here today because we have also been a nation of love and compassion and equality and justice. We've been a nation of light. And there are so many more people, I believe, who embrace that love and embrace peaceful action than embrace hate, despite what we may see in the headlines today. And all of you standing out there, you stand for that love and that light and that justice. And one of our most enduring traditions as a nation has been one that's been emulated around the world. And it's our system of checks and balances. It's a judiciary that can hear the strongest grievances against our government, against our political branches. Even grievances that question and challenge long-standing systemic practices of our government that betray our children and betray our people and our posterity and threaten to wipe off the map entire places of our country like southern Florida. In our brief filed with the Supreme Court 1 week ago, we quoted Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, who recently emphasized the critical importance of our independent judiciary. He said about a week ago, without independence, there is no Brown versus Board of Education. Without independence, there is no West Virginia versus Barnett, where the court held that the government could not compel school children to salute the flag. And without independence, there is no Steele seizure case where the court held that President Truman was subject to the Constitution even in a time of war. Now, the court has from time to time erred and erred greatly, but when it has been because the court yielded to political pressure, as in the Korematsu case, shamefully upholding the internment during World War II of Japanese American citizens. Those were the words of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And those words give me hope and faith today that that court will do the right thing. And the other thing that gives me hope is one day after we filed our brief a week ago, in a love letter to the nation saying farewell to public life, the first woman justice of our Supreme Court, Sandra Day O'Connor, wrote of the importance of our children and lifting them up to be citizens of democracy. She wrote of giving children a voice and of the importance of holding our government accountable for wrongdoing. Because our children are our light and they are our future. So this case that should have had opening statements today in courtroom 1 is a case born of love and compassion and equality and justice. It is a case that gives these children and all children a voice to air their grievances against a political system that has deprived them not only of their voice, but is depriving them of their equal rights under the law. It's depriving them of safety in their homes, of their health. It's depriving them of their schools that are being flooded. It's depriving them of communities being torn apart. And it's depriving them of a right to a future. The fossil fuel energy system of our nation that our government perpetuates is a system that doesn't just threaten these young people, it threatens democracy itself. It threatens our national security, our economy, and it threatens who we are as a people. And Levi, where are you? Levi is our youngest plaintiff. He's also our best dressed plaintiff. Okay, there's a competition. But I want to tell you about Levi for a second. So Levi came here. Levi was so upset last week when his deposition was canceled and he couldn't get on a plane and come here because he's been in 90-degree weather in Florida inhaling toxins from the red tide that's off the coast of Florida right now because of the warmer waters in our oceans. Levi's been evacuated from his island many times from the increasing storm events. His community is already fighting back sea level rise. And our government says that if we don't stop this problem of fossil fuel pollution, his island will be underwater in his lifetime. And that is what is at stake in this case. And that is why the Supreme Court of the United States cannot stop this case against our government so that they may stand trial for the deprivations to these young people and their future and their lives. And until democracy stops working, it is still working, people. And we will be here and struggling and fighting to be part of the system and make it work until it no longer works. And then I will be with you in the streets.